Almost immediately, fans flooded social media with messages of love and understanding. Comments poured in. "Thank you for being real. You helped me feel seen today. We don't need perfection, we need honesty." Many viewers shared their own stories, describing how Kelly's vulnerability helped them through difficult moments in their own lives. Some admitted they cried watching the segment. Others said they replayed it more than once just to absorb the sincerity of the moment. In a digital age often criticized for superficiality, this response showed how deeply authenticity still matters. Kelly Ripa has never been afraid to be honest with her audience. Over the years, she has spoken openly about parenting challenges, personal anxieties, and life changes. But this moment felt different. There was no lesson, no resolution, just truth. And that truth was powerful. By showing vulnerability on live television, Kelly reminded viewers that strength doesn't always look like smiling through pain. Sometimes, strength looks like acknowledging that a day is simply too hard and allowing yourself to feel it. This emotional broadcast served as a reminder of why morning television still matters. Beyond entertainment, these shows become companions. They sit with people during breakfast, quiet mornings, and lonely moments. Kelly's emotional day blurred the line between host and viewer, not in a performative way, but in a deeply personal one. For a brief moment, the show wasn't about segments or schedules. It was about shared humanity. What happens next? Kelly did not promise answers. She did not explain every detail behind her emotions, and she didn't need to. Sometimes the most meaningful moments are the ones left partially unsaid. What remains clear is that this day will be remembered not for headlines or drama, but for honesty, for a woman who showed up despite the weight she carried, and for a show that allowed space for silence when words weren't enough. A lasting impact on viewers. Long after the episode ended, the emotional impact lingered. Viewers described feeling closer to Kelly than ever before, not because she shared details, but because she shared feeling. "This was too hard" became a reminder that it's okay to admit when life feels overwhelming. And in a world that often demands constant strength, that message was exactly what many needed to hear. Sometimes the most powerful moments on television aren't planned. They happen when someone chooses honesty over perfection. On this emotional day, Kelly Ripa didn't just host a show, she shared a moment of truth that touched millions. And in that silence, viewers found connection, comfort, and the reminder that even on the hardest days, showing up still matters. The morning television world is usually filled with bright smiles, light laughter, and comforting routines that millions of viewers rely on to start their day. But on this particular morning, Live with Kelly and Mark felt different. The familiar energy was replaced with an unmistakable heaviness, one that even Kelly Ripa, known for her professionalism and emotional strength, could not hide. As the cameras rolled, viewers quickly sensed that something was wrong. Kelly's voice carried a quiet weight. Her smile, usually effortless, appeared fragile. And within moments, it became clear that this was not just another emotional segment. This was a deeply personal day for Kelly Ripa. "This was too hard," she admitted softly, a sentence that would soon echo across social media and leave fans around the country feeling her pain. For decades, Live has been a place of comfort. Audiences tune in expecting warmth, humor, and connection. Kelly Ripa has built her career on making viewers feel like family, sharing joy, laughter, and even life's awkward moments. But what unfolded on this day reminded everyone that behind the polished television persona is a real woman carrying real emotions. From the opening moments, the studio felt unusually quiet. Mark Consuelos sat beside Kelly, visibly attentive and protective. There was no playful banter, no quick jokes to break the ice. Instead, silence spoke louder than words. Viewers later described the moment as raw, unfiltered, and painfully real. Kelly did not immediately explain what was wrong, and she didn't have to. Her eyes told the story. Years of live television experience could not mask the emotion she was fighting back. When she finally spoke, her words were careful but heavy. Some days, she explained, life simply asks too much. Even the strongest people reach moments when showing up feels overwhelming. This day, she admitted, was one of those moments. Her honesty struck a chord. In a media world where celebrities are often expected to remain composed at all times, Kelly's vulnerability felt rare and deeply human. She didn't dramatize the pain. She didn't turn it into spectacle. She simply acknowledged it. And that honesty made the moment unforgettable. Throughout the broadcast, Mark Consuelos remained steady by her side. He didn't interrupt. He didn't rush her. Instead, he offered what mattered most: presence. Fans noticed the way he looked at her, the subtle nods, the quiet reassurance. Sometimes support doesn't come in speeches or grand gestures. Sometimes it's just staying close and letting the other person feel what they need to feel. Social media quickly filled with praise for Mark, calling his support beautiful, respectful, and deeply loving. For longtime fans of the couple, the moment felt like a reminder of why their partnership resonates so strongly. They don't just share a career, they share life's hardest moments too. As Kelly continued, the energy in the studio shifted completely. Crew members reportedly paused. The audience sat in near silence. Even longtime staff members later described the moment as one of the most emotional days they had witnessed on set. This wasn't scripted television. This was real life, unfolding in real time. Kelly's voice cracked briefly, and she paused, not for drama, but to regain composure. In that pause, millions of viewers leaned in, emotionally connected to someone they have watched for years, but perhaps never truly felt this close to before. What made this moment so powerful wasn't just Kelly's emotion, it was the timing. In a world already filled with stress, uncertainty, and emotional exhaustion, viewers saw themselves in her struggle. Parents, partners, caregivers, professionals. So many people wake up every day carrying invisible weight, expected to perform, smile, and keep going no matter how heavy life feels. Kelly Ripa gave voice to that quiet struggle, and in doing so, reminded people they're not alone. This was too hard became more than a sentence, it became a shared feeling.